Hello and welcome everyone to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. Well, it's a special topic. It's really not really the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. It is a special review with our good friend Colin from Digital Car Culture. How are you doing, Colin?
Yeah, I'm doing
some
great,
sound effects.
you do definitely need some sound effects. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. How are you? You good?
I'm very well indeed, and it's great to see you because I know that your magazine is getting bigger and there's lots of great stuff in it, and we'll be telling everyone of what they need to be looking out for, and if they're not already subscribed to it, they're missing out. So we'll need to get that all sorted. But yeah, so tell me, you've just released a new edition. Was it last Saturday?
So yeah, last Saturday it was a little bit late. It was a little bit late, but that is because. I mean, this is a hobbyist fanzine, I guess, and the kids' week got in the way. So I've been away for a few days. I was a little behind. Yeah, I was a little bit behind on the release date. But yes, it dropped last Saturday. So anybody who's on our Discord or any of the socials, or as you said, subscribed, you should have had a link made accessible to you over that last week. And if not, I'll be trying to bombard people with links in the coming week through Reddit and GT Planet and all that kind of jazz. So yes, issue 7 is out now. It's that's the 8th issue, including our concept. So yeah, this is a thing, Hugh. Still doing it. Still here. Still doing it.
And you've also been doing some race nights as well. I remember seeing a link for a Friday night race night that you were doing recently.
Yeah, I was wondering why you weren't in it. If I'm honest, Hugh. I think this will be right up your alley. It's GT Sport. Yeah, it's a GT Sport fan.
I will try it. To be fair, I will try it because I saw the thing and I thought, oh, that would be the thing. Because I think it was about 7 o'clock, wasn't it?
You're trying to do it. Yeah. We're going to do it once a month, around launch. Probably it's a week after we've launched an issue, so we can advertise the issue that's coming out. So the issue can advertise the event. Sorry, it's on GT Sport. It's themed. It's wrestling themed because we do have a belt. I've got props. I do a show and tell here. We've got. Hopefully, I'm not knocking too much stuff out. We've got a belt.
Oh, fantastic!
That's wow. And look, it lights up.
And that's brilliant.
How good's that? How good's that? So it's wrestling. It's wrestling themed. Each month, we're doing an event that has a theme in itself. So we've done one which was King of the Ring, and that was a race around the Red Bull Ring. So it was 5 races of 5 laps, reverse grid. Every position gets points, so you should always be fighting and battling. We had been Group B cars with racing horde tyres, so it was really, really difficult. All Alonatron won, so he was the King of the Ring. And then last week, was it last week, the week before, we did the next one, which was the Renault Rumble.
All right, yeah.
They were Renault Clio V6s around Majovia Central. So again, another really, really short track. In that one, it was full damage and full contact allowed. So everybody was really respectful in race 1 or 2, but then they started to realise that you could really take advantage of full contact, and it got a bit chaotic. Really good fun. It's the antidote to FIAs, is what it is. It's all over and done with in less than an hour because the lap times are it's short laps, 1 to 2 mile max. So lap times 48, 50 seconds. So you have a whole thing done within an hour, and then we can crown a new champion. And Alonatron was the king of the Renault Rumble as well. So 2 wins in the belt. And Hugh, I want to see you there next time because I think you'll love it.
Yeah, you'll need to remind me of the dates for the next one. I'll do my best to do it. Because if it's at 7 o'clock, I'll just have to make sure that the kids go to bed an hour later. And that's
real good fun. Real good fun. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, that's great. So if you like, you can share the screen and we can start to see what the latest digital car culture issue is like.
Cool. We will do. I'll share the screen.
I can see it now. There we go. I'll add that to the stream if it's ready. There we go. They are fantastic. It looks good. And the McLaren.
Yeah, so obviously you can see the magazine there. Then I can't see anything other than the magazine. So apologies if I don't get any visual
We can see you.
Nods,
We can definitely.
doofus. I can't see any of that. So yes, again, we're always trying to keep these really nice, bold, crisp, clean covers. And yeah, McLaren on the front cover this time. And this time it's by a guy, a GT Sport livery designer and photographer called Azabear. And he's been selected for the photography. So yeah, I think this is a pretty cool one. So this month, I should say, the big things I'm wanting to call out is top 10 ESC tracks that you might not have known about. Might not know if that makes sense. I'm pleased that makes sense. And the Hooligans, which is the event we were just talking about the wrestling themed races that we're doing. That's called the Hooligans. And we're introducing a new regular feature called the Garage. So I'll get into it. Usual, we are driven Foundation T-shirt on as well today. So I think we talked about that last time. It's a charity of created by Sim Racers, just to help people out, really. So they're a really, really good bunch of guys. You should check that out if you can. Usual welcome. And in this one, Hugh, the two things I'm calling out is about our partnerships. So I'm talking about the partnership with Sir Spats Gaming and yourself, Hugh.
Yes.
Because we're going to be doing this on a regular, aren't we?
Exactly.
As long as I can get there, because I am a bit of a letdown. Apologies, I let you down last month. So yes, I'm just talking there about the two new partners that we have, which is fantastic, and the usual contents pages. Yeah. We were talking a little bit earlier about designs of T-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah. Infinity Decals, there's a guy there, Dave Robinson. Oh, I hope I've got that right. Dave Robinson. Wow. Robinson. I think it's Robinson. He runs Infinity Decals. He's a great guy. He does banner art. He does decals. He does T-shirts. He's done this T-shirt. So he's done this at cost. And in fact, I think he took a big hit because I think the majority of the money for these T-shirts went to the charity. So he's a good guy. So it's good to be able to give something back and give him a full page ad. And if you've ever seen these guys, Cowabunga Car Diaries, they're pretty cool. They'll be up your street actually. Check that out because they're really, really, really good dudes. And here's our partner page, Hugh. Look at you. You're there. How does that feel? And if you click on that link, it goes to your YouTube channel. How cool is that?
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic. That is really, really good. I really appreciate that. Now there's no excuse for the masses that are watching and taking part to come along and see the channel. But that's brilliant. That's really, really good. Thank you for that.
No bother. And that's the thing. This is an interactive magazine. So you can click on the links. And by clicking on the links, it'll take you straight through to the channel. Same for Sir Spats, and we'll be coming to Sir Spats as well, because he has a regular feature now in the magazine. So my usual ads, the regulars. This is just a breaker page that I put in, and then we have our news. So there's a few bits on here that I guess I'll just call out a couple of them. I'm not going to kind of talk through this word for word. The first one of interest, I guess, is Gran Turismo 7. It's been confirmed. That'll be released on PS4 and PS5. But obviously PS5, I guess it's the other way around, and PS4. What do you make of that, Hugh? What do you think of that? There's some rumblings online. People aren't too happy that it's going to be compatible for the previous gen. What do you think?
It's interesting because I know that Keirith Cart had said that he thought that was okay, and it was a reasonable decision. To be fair, I didn't watch his full video about it. And then the Key, which is the first video I saw about the release of GT7 on PS4, he was dead against it. And I'm kind of with the Key on this one, because I was kind of hoping that PS5, it's a next generation console, and that would kind of give the best to GT7 in terms of technical power that it could use to make the game even better. And I'm not convinced that maybe that will happen or it will be as good as it could be by putting out on PS4. But that's my opinion. I could well be wrong. But yeah, I'll certainly get it on PS4 without a doubt, because I probably won't be a while before I get a PS5 the rate that you can actually get them. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they'll get a much bigger audience, definitely. They'll sell very well, and they probably need the money because of COVID and things. But yeah, I've heard that seemingly the chap who runs the whole thing isn't very keen on having to do it, but I think financial pressures or Sony have told them that that's what's happening.
But there's the rub, isn't it? As you said, I think it'll be a long while before the masses on PS5s. So commercially, You've invested all this money in a new game off the back of the huge success which is GT Sport, and needs to be able to pay for itself and pay for itself pretty quick, because if it doesn't, people will move on to the next game. If it can't grab a huge audience early doors, other games will follow, and people could move away from it. So I think you're right. I think it's clearly just a commercial decision, and you've got a huge amount of players on PS4 which will pick this up. Now, what the impact will be on the quality of the final product is, I don't know. I mean, the way I see it is, what a next generation gives you is it gives you ability of processing power, which is typically used for having much larger maps, and games become a lot bigger. Now, that's not necessary really for a racing game. The maps are really small because the tarmac and a little bit of runoff, and that's all you get. So that's not going to be required. Graphically, definitely, you'd imagine there'll be a difference between the PS4 and the PS5 when it comes to graphics. But if you think about the physics of the games, the coding and the physics should be the same on both platforms. So I'm not too sure whether there would be much of a difference. If you were talking about an open worlder, it's like a Forza Horizon where it's a massive map, then you'd imagine there's going to be quite a difference between the PS4 and PS5. But if you think about our players and completed Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox 360, and then again on the PS4. Now, it was an upscale for PS4, wasn't a kind of a build at the same time for it. There's probably a little difference. So I'm hoping there's very little difference between the two. And the experience, graphics will be different, but I expect the experience to be the same.
I'm thoroughly looking forward to the game itself. I think GT7, they've always been fantastic, charismatic games, great games that stand out without a doubt. And even Gran Turismo, as it is just now, is a great game. I think now that actually, to be fair, the penalties have gotten a bit better. I think they're just dealing with a huge number of drivers that haven't, they've done their etiquette video, but it seems to have flown out of the window when they actually get to the race. But then that's kind of one of the things, I suppose, it just happens. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. And it's funny because you're talking about Grand Theft Auto. I got the PS4 when that came out, and I have the box on the old one that had the Grand Theft Auto logo on it with the game. That's why I got the first one. It was one of my favourite ones. But I can't wait for the next one. I think that will be incredible. I've got lots of good stories just about. Did I tell you the one about when I went to the car rental firm in America? When first time we were in Orlando with the family. I've been waiting for ages to get the car, and we were absolutely desperate. It was late at night. We'd been up for about 24 hours just about. The guy said, "Oh, have you ever driven in Orlando before?" And I said, "No, but I've played lots of Grand Theft Auto, so I'm pretty convinced I know how to drive." He almost took the keys away from me. It was like I should have
doubled your deposit.
Yeah, I should have said I've never ever stopped at a red light before on that game. So it was good. But it's an interesting thing that Grand Theft GT7 will be on the PS. Yeah. We'll have to see how that pans out. Will it be next year that they're going to actually launch it then, or will it be later on this year?
That's what they're saying it's going to be next year, isn't it? That's the release. There's also here number 4, sticking with GT Sport. GT Sport is going to be part of the virtual Olympic series. Did you read that?
Yes, I heard that because a few of them, I saw the setup for it, wasn't it, in the Toyota Supra? They've already done a qualifying session for that, haven't they? And people have already qualified to go forward, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's funny having a kind of game that's going towards the Olympics, isn't it? They're kind of and bringing in, I suppose, the guys at the very top. I mean, they have to be pretty athletically fit to do it. It's almost like when I used to when Scotland used to play when in the not in the Olympic Games but in the other one, the Winter Olympics, or they had. Oh no, it wasn't the Winter Olympics. It's the Commonwealth Games, and they had it in Glasgow a few years ago. And the Scotland team, and being I'm a Scotsman. They had it wasn't ice hockey. It was the curling team, and the curling team had done quite well. But the funny thing was when you launched the curling team and they were on their break, they were all outside smoking cigarettes. And you're like, only in Scotland will you get like a Commonwealth Games team that smoke like this, and they have beer bellies. It was this brilliant. So I thought it was like almost like as if darts are going to be in the Commonwealth Games next. But it was,
well, give it time. It'd be darts on the Wii, Nintendo Wii dart. Give me enough time with this year. That's cool news, wasn't it? That is really cool news. The only other one I'd call out as well is there are some reports that Assetto Corsa, which is awesome title, really awesome title, is looking for a sequel in 2024. So if that can be the kind of the sandbox, what the current Assetto Corsa is, which I do love, then that would be absolutely phenomenal to have a new physics engine for Assetto Corsa, but it's brought right up to date, but still allowing modifiers to get in there and produce new content. That would be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's such a good game, isn't it? Such a good game.
Oh, big star. Yeah, big star.
And I noticed there was a picture there of the new Fanatec, which everyone's been talking about.
Yeah.
That looks rather good. That I have to say, I would love to be able to upgrade my G29 to a proper piece of equipment like that.
It just depends on how much time you actually would invest in it. I guess obviously I've got G29. It'd be good to upgrade. But for what I do, I just hoon around on arcade games. This is perfect. I mean, that is a serious bit of kit, isn't it? That is real serious bit of kit. That's for your people are going to be sitting behind the wheel for hours and hours on endurance races and iRace and all that kind of stuff. So looks lovely, doesn't it? Looks really nice.
Yeah. I can imagine that. Dirt 4.
Dirt 4. So
Dirt Rally 2.
Well, Dirt 4's you have the Dirt Rally series and you have the Dirt series. The Dirt series is the arcade version by the same producers at Codemasters. And Dirt 5 is the one that recently dropped. And by recently, it was at the beginning of the year, so it was quite a way back. I did a review for Dirt 5, and I was massively underwhelmed. I got the amplified version as well, which was the pre-release. It came out a few days beforehand. You get everything, all DLCs in the future are free, all that kind of jazz. And I was really underwhelmed by Dirt 5. But a lot of people said that Dirt 4 is still really, really good. And one of our main guys, Yusuf, who is one of the main contributors to the magazine, him and Afraid Racer, loves rally. Big rally fan. Plays all the rally games. He's setting up DCC rally events in our Discord and for our channel now. He's doing all that work. He suggested that he goes back and has a look at Dirt 4. And he loves it. Really, really, really loves it. I think he talks about the DCC rally team being born, which is great. And it looks like it stands up. I've never played this one. Never played it. Dirt 5 was the first of the Dirt games, apart from Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2. I think I might have played Colin McRae's is one of the early Dirt series because it was a Codemasters game. So I've played that, but I've not played any of the Dirt that I don't think. It really feels like I've missed a trick with this one because this one sounds phenomenal. I mean, he gives it a 4.5 out of 5, and Yusuf is pretty hard to please. He's he does mark games down quite a bit. So to do a 4.5 out of 5 for this one is pretty impressive, and it feels like this is one that I've overlooked and I should really have gone back to be fair. So we opened strongly with Yusuf, who's a great writer, really, really good wordsmith. And we come up the block strong with the Dirt 4 review. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning. This is the King of the Ring. So each month we do an event called the Hooligans. This is a long-standing thing I've done for years through various different guises. But under the digital car culture, I've kind of reinvented it. And each month we're going to do an open community event where the winner gets the belt. Here it is. Yeah, there's the special belt. Just get the lights on for you, Hugh. Yeah, there's the belt. The winner gets the name on the belt. And All Alone at Home was the winner of our first in the series of the Hooligans. We've since done the next one, which is and I've done the Smack Talk. I've got embarrassingly, I've got the same T-shirt on as well, Hugh. That's embarrassing. But if you click on that, you'll go to a very short video of my impersonation of Macho Man Randy Savage, which I do a great impersonation of him. I've done a bit of a smack talk video at All Alonatron for them as the macho man. I was hyping myself up a bit for the next race, which was the Renault Rumble, but I did terrible in that one as well. So really, really bad. And this is the new feature which I put on the cover, the garage. So, do you know much about Assetto Corsa? I was bigging it up a few minutes ago.
I was going to say, I've just got a PC. And so I've started all the PC side of gaming. So I've got Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione there.
Oh, nice.
I can frankly pronounce it properly. I was doing a bit of franglais earlier on when it was I was saying competition, Assetto Corsa competition, and they kept coming back to me saying that's not how you pronounce it. Yeah, there's a Z in there somewhere. So it was the one. But yes, so I've just kind of started on Assetto Corsa as well. And it is a fantastic game, absolutely brilliant game.
Well, ESC, so Assetto Corsa itself, as I said, it is a bit of an open sandbox because it's open in the sense where people can go in and they can mod things and they can create. So they can create their own tracks, of which there's many. They can create their own cars. They can create traffic mods. They've done lighting modifications to the game. And Assetto Corsa allows it to be open for people to go in and to modify the game. It's 7 years old now. And when you get into Assetto Corsa, it is absolutely phenomenal. Now, ACC, so Competizione, and that's not how you pronounce it, but it's as close as I'll ever get to it. That's close. That's just a track. That's a track game.
Yeah.
For what I know, you can't do any of that thing. But Assetto Corsa itself is phenomenal. And the reason I want to start to talk about the garage was, it's part of digital car culture. The reason why I got right in the digital car culture and started to kind of do the magazine was, I love car culture, but I don't have the time nor the money to be able to be out and about and messing around with Evos and Skylines and all that. I can do it behind the wheel. And Assetto Corsa allows you to be able to build your own cars. You can build the physics. You can build the bodies. You can tune engines in the cars, and it's all done through code. It's all done through changing and applying text. I haven't gotten right. I don't understand it yet, but I know it happens, and I've started to reach out and say, right, well, you can tune a car in the digital world, in the digital realm, as you can in the real world. In the Assetto Corsa, you can. So I've started to kind of reach out to a few of the guys, and this first one, I got in touch with Big Hagster. So this is linked through the Sir Spats Gaming community and through his Discord. And this guy came up and says, yeah, I know a little bit about it. I'll tell you about it. So this is the first thing we've done. So I asked about drift tuning, and he told us about what you can tune and why you tune, what you should be looking at the tuning, and what he does personally. And it just, even just these couple of pages and the kind of brief discussion I've had with Big Hagster, it's really made us feel as if there's something here. There's something in the kind of the darker art of creating cars, tuning cars, swapping cars, which is really, really interesting. And I'm going to really be pushing on the garage. There's a group of guys called Hush as well, and they have created a set of drift cars. There's Nissans, BMWs, there's all kinds, and they've released them as a pack. And this is stuff where they have actually built the physics of them from other people. It's all kind of on the shoulders of great men and all that kind of stuff. But they have taken them, they've tweaked them, and they've packaged them together, and then they've released them back into the community for free for modified cars, for modified tracks. And there's just something special about it, that I really, really love. And that's something I really want to bring to an audience who won't know anything about it. And I've started doing a thing called The Commentator as well. So last month I talked to Dark Smoker, who's a pal of mine. And this month, Paul Walsh. So, Hugh, honestly, this guy, have you came across Paul TX141 before?
Possibly, because I know quite a few different commentators. I've interviewed one or two. I'll need to let them know, actually, about you, because if you want to speak to them as well, I'm sure they'd be up for it.
Please, yeah. Because commentary, it's really kind of... It doesn't get the kind of the plaudits that it deserves. So when you're watching some of the league racing, and it doesn't matter on any level of the league racing, what makes a difference is a commentator who injects the additional kind of action and spice into it. That's what keeps you watching. That's what it really engages you with what's going on. If it's just a just a really kind of dry broadcast of the cars going around on a screen, you don't really kind of get in it. The commentator really brings it out. And Paul Walsh is the best I have came across. And I was lucky enough to be able to reach out to him and ask him if he could commentate on the Hooligans events. And he did.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And he's amazing. So we switch. So I do all the stuff in between, and I switch to Paul to do the commentary for the racing itself. And genuinely, Hugh, seek this guy out. Takes 141 on Twitch. Paul Walsh is called. You can. I must have a link. Actually, the link will be there. Yeah, there's a link there, so you can click on his logo.
Yeah, no, I'll click on that and I'll take me. I'm on Twitch. Turns out I've got a connection to Twitch, so I'll be able to do that. Yeah,
he's amazing. Honestly, amazing. I don't know how he does it. He just constantly, it's high energy, constantly talking. It's phenomenal. He really brings it to life. And I've asked him a little bit about why he does it, what's next, all the kind of the usual stuff. And I'm just really pleased that I'm able to give him a little bit of a platform because he deserves it. He's a phenomenal guy. Really. Oh, there's another one. There's another link as well from as well. He's a phenomenal guy. So that's that. Photography. We always have a good photography section. I think that the art magazine is really, really important. I have magazines sitting behind us. I've got Max Powers and that sitting behind us where you can just flick through and enjoy it without even reading a word. So it's really important for me that the magazine is kind of visually stimulating. And this is the first time for the photography section where rather than me picking the pictures, I've went to the photographer and says, send me your best pictures and then tell me why. And this is going to be a thing moving forward. So this is what Azabear's done. He sent us what he believes are his best pictures, and he's told us a little bit about why he believes they're the best. Very much concept guy. This is on GE Sport. So this is to do with, I think, a Vision one, isn't it? I would have thought. I'm not familiar with that. But this is all his liveries, his shots. These are his favourite things. And the nice thing, I mean, that's lovely, that, isn't it? That is really, really, really special, that one. But again, it draws out the power of Scapes. Scapes is amazing, isn't it? I don't know, do you use much of Scapes on GE Sport? Have you seen much of it?
I have seen a little bit of it, but to be fair, I haven't. I think I've taken like 9 photographs and a few other bits and pieces. I haven't done that much on it. And in our touring car community series that's starting at the end of July, Rascal has made the liveries for the cars, and then people can have the basic livery that's there and they can add to it. So I'm not much of a designer, so I'm desperate to get people to help me with that. Because that's what I need for it. But no, that is a fantastic design.
Well, look, I mean, if you look at it sitting on the background as well, I mean, it looks real, doesn't it? That looks real. Yeah. It doesn't look computer generated, but it's that's exactly what it is. It's phenomenal. As I said at the beginning, a couple of big guys for me, which is Afraid Racer, and I've got Yusuf. This is what Afraid Racer's first kind of content for the magazine, and this is a comparison of 2 of the kind of classic Ferraris, the 365 and the 512. And Afraid, he's a young guy. He's really, really passionate about motorsport. He's really passionate about the digital car culture. He's always coming up with ideas, and he's starting to put in his own content regularly into the magazine. And this is something I would never have thought of. I wouldn't have looked backwards at these kind of classic cars, but he certainly has. You can click on the link, go to his video because he's got his own channel, and it's just another way of bringing people closer to the content as well. And then somebody got in touch, P308R. That sounds like the kids getting a telegraph of me, Mrs. in the background. Which hopefully that'll settle down in a second. Sebastian, he got in touch. And just this is the great thing about the magazine. People do get in touch and say, can I do something with the content?
Is he being in the back?
Yes. So they get in touch around the content, and they say, can I help? Can I get involved? Is there anything I can do? And this is what P308R did. He's a huge Peugeot fan. He says, can I write something for the magazine? I said, yeah, of course. We started doing a thing called the Celebration series, where we look at a particular model of car, and we look at it in real life, and we look at how it's represented in the digital world as well. And P308R, or Sebastian, I prefer his real name than that. He looked at 205, and it's a phenomenal phenomenal read. He's clearly a massive passionate fan of Peugeots, and the read is absolutely phenomenal. Really done his homework on the 205, and this is just great content. It's phenomenal.
And I think that's a great classic car, and those kind of cars are in the games a lot of the time, aren't they? They're in Gran Turismo. They're in, I'm sure you get a mod for it in Assetto Corsa. So it's amazing now. But there's a fantastic video of the old Peugeot museum in France. And what they do is, it was the factory where they kept the cars had been closed for a while, and I think they were keeping some of the old cars in there. And somebody managed to get in and take a video of everything that was in there, and they had the whole history of Peugeot. But they had all these untouched Peugeot rally cars, and all the kind of amazing touring cars and everything. And I thought it was just, you get it on YouTube if you go like Peugeot factory, Peugeot kind of like racing factory barn finder kind of thing on YouTube. It should bring it up. And it is some of the stuff's quite funny because it's ancient, 1930s, 40s stuff like the Pope Mobile and all sorts of different cars. There was a Peugeot, but then in there's a whole bunch of rally cars and incredible stuff. That would be super.
Check that out. I will have to check that out. But you're right. I mean, you do find in any rally game, you're gonna find a Peugeot 205. That's without a doubt. Readers' pictures. Always have that. So we get a lot of pictures sent in through the Discord, and I like to pull out the top kind of 30 and look at them. Some of them are phenomenal, really, really nice shots from some really, really talented guys that try to bring on. Somebody put a bike in. What's that about? A bike? That's not got four wheels. So we have that, and then we enter the sim zone. As I said, another partner of ours is Sir Spats Gaming. Sir Spats is a big Assetto Corsa video content creator on YouTube. He's really grown very, very fast. He's into his mods, and what we're doing is we're selecting some of the content that he's doing each week. He's doing 3 videos a week, but we're selecting something which will be ideal for our audience, and then we're bringing that video through to the magazine. And then this one is 10 tracks that you might not have played of. And for this, Goodwood, obviously, Bicker Nicky, never heard of that, if I'm honest. Luca Ring, I hadn't heard that one either. No. Saxon Ring, I think I'd heard of Saxon Ring. But these are underserved tracks on the Assetto Corsa that you can download. Again, I think the video Caesar Spats Gaming his content is absolutely phenomenal, and we'll be having him in every month now for that. And I've just seen there's on one of my pages there, 10 tracks you might not have. There's a few words missing from that sentence. It shows that the proofreading that we're doing is missed out a bit on that one. We'll have to go in and change all this live, which is the good news. That's the good news. I can update that live. Again, if Fred came in and he did a bit about the Olympics. So we've already talked about that in GT Sport. And then there's a guy, D-Max, he's called D-Max Motion Rig. He's got his own YouTube channel. Again, it'll be linked in here. He built his own motion simulator with 3 degrees of freedom. And he tells you about how his YouTube channel is all about how to do it.
Wow.
And he's done it himself. And when I say real DIY, so this obviously fabricated, a lot of welding involved. He hadn't welded before. So he bought a welder to do this, and he'd done all of this himself over, I think he says it was about 6 or 7 weekends he did it. The result is phenomenal. It really is phenomenal what he's done. He says 4 weekends. I made it on the weekends, and it took me 4 weekends to get it moving. But to get it moving, I guess it'll be a few more weekends as well to get it set. But he uses VR. Obviously, that's perfect, isn't it? VR in a motion rig. Really brings that extra level of immersion. And we'll be bringing more stuff from D-Max as well. He's got a great channel. You've got to check it out. Crazy. He's a crazy guy. I mean, I like a project, but I don't think I would be touching building a motion rig.
Yeah, that is quite a thing. That's pretty good going.
I see you doing something like that, Hugh. I can see you taking on that kind of project.
I think it'd probably turn into a bomb or something. It'd be just like, where's all the hydraulic fluid gone? Does that mix with anything? It was like, I'm sure wiring and a few bits of sparks won't do any harm. But
Fine. That always happens. You always burn a couple out.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm like Crichton from Red Dwarf in that way. So I'll be saying, I'm pretty sure I know what went wrong. It's like, but no, that's the thing. Oh, we've got a comment here from Sebastian Gillian. He's saying the Peugeot location that you're talking about is called Terre Blanche. It's Peugeot's official archive. The official museum finds itself in Sochaux.
Oh, well, that'll be. I'm assuming that Sebastian then is P3.
Yeah.
It'll be,
thank you for that, Sebastian.
That's guys, hello. I can't see anything other than the magazine, but hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving you big props there. It's an awesome article that he's done. He's a good writer. It's Sebastian from all the way from France as well. So thank you.
I was going to say, please feel free to put your links for Digital Car Culture into our Discord as well, so that all our guys can see it in here as well, because it would be great to let everybody see it, because it's all, I mean, the way that sim racing is taken over, and all of this stuff is all linked to it all. It will be something for everybody, and so feel free to put it in our Discord.
Oh, will do, pal. Will do. Thank you. So R Factor 2, I've never played this, but we do have a guy, Boomer, in our community who's a big fan of RF2. He's a big fan of NASCAR. He didn't pull us up either of my description of NASCAR, which was DCC NASCAR. No, Boomer tells us all about the art of turning left. Didn't pull us up on that, so I'm pleased. I thought he might have been a bit upset. But he thinks that R Factor 2, he is a big NASCAR nut as well. So he's from America, so he's got proper lineage into to NASCAR. You've got the NASCAR 2021 game. I think that comes out shortly. 2020 is the one that's out at the moment. There's Heat as well. But he thinks R Factor 2 is a really good substitute for going left. Absolutely. And this is a little bit about it. Elmore Liveries, super talented guy. He produced this randomly for us. And it's just insane, isn't it? You can download that if you search for DCC. So there's a lot of GT Sport in this one, actually, isn't there? A lot of GT Sport.
Yeah.
Hoona Streets. This is where it gets into my world. This is what I like. I've started a new series called Find and Reverse. This is where I look at old games, because there's not much coming out on the horizon for car games. So I look at some of the stuff that's in the past. And the first one I tried was Forza Horizon, the very first one. And I've done a video on it. There's a link on here to the video. To take the first 20-30 minutes of gameplay and my first reactions to it. It stands up. And this is what, when we're talking about Gran Turismo 7 coming out on the PS4 and PS5, does that mean they're compromising in quality? Tell you what, if you go back on the Xbox 360 and you look at some of the games on that, I mean, Forza Horizon, the first one, like nearly 10-year-old it is, it still looks brilliant. Really good. Huge open world map. I know it's not the same, it hasn't got all the proper physics and all that, but it does stand up. It's still fun. You can still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. You can be able to pick this up on eBay for like £3. It's good. And that's each month we're going to look. It's an old title. Next month it is Wheelman. Vin Diesel's Wheelman. Now, I assume it's a car game. It's got a car on the front. It's Vin Diesel. It's called Wheelman. So it feels like it's going to be a Fast and Furious-y kind of thing. It's on Xbox 360 again. So we're going to take a look at that, do the first 30 minutes in a video. I'll do a write-up next month. Maybe do a couple of streams. But for next month's Find and Reverse, Vin Diesel's Wheelman, the game everybody's been waiting about. Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, big open worlder. Is that one you've heard about, Hugh? It's coming out soon. Well, that's it, soon. There's some kind of next chapter.
Yes, Test Drive
out in July.
Yes. Yep.
Beyond that, not too sure when it's coming out. I was going to do a video on it, and I was going to do an article on it. So I started to put some words down, and then I don't know whether you're aware of Militia Gearman. So Militia Gearman's a big YouTuber. I came across his video, and he just absolutely nailed it. So I wanted to talk about what do we know about it, and he nailed it. So I thought there's no point in me. No point in me writing anything. I'll get in touch with Militia and ask if see if it's cool for him to plug his video. And he was like, yeah, no bother, do that. So if you want to know about what we know about Solar Crown, then click on this link. It'll take you, I think it's about a 20-minute video, and it covers all those things. It covers the car list, we know about the game modes, platforms, what the engine's going to be. The only thing we don't really know is the release date. But But it's a brilliant video. He's a good guy, is Militia. He's a good guy. We'll see probably a little bit more of him in the future.
Yeah.
We've started to cover mobile games as well. And that's because sometimes, don't tell anybody, Hugh, but between meetings when I'm at work, and now and again stick on my phone and play a few card games, especially if the meeting's a bit boring. So we started to look at some of the best games. And Project Cars, I wasn't really aware of this. I'm not too sure. Was I aware? I don't think I was aware of this until a friend pulled it out. But Project Cars has got a mobile game called Go. And apparently it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, if it's based on the first one, it will be.
Yeah.
Because the first Project Cars game was excellent.
He says it's pretty cool. I've been playing the FR Legends, which is a drift game. That's brilliant. It's like a cartoony drift game, but the physics are really cool. But this is the next one for me to try. Project Cars Go. Definitely want to look at. Now, this is a bit of a strange one. So this is definitely the digital world, though, right? But this is, there's a guy on Instagram that I've been pals with for the last year or more called Line Rock Customs. And he builds 1/24th scale drift cars. So I've got one, and I've got one. He got me to get one, and it's brilliant. Mine is a Mark II Escort RS 1800.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
I can't see if I can see, but that's my little attempt. But you buy little drift cards, digital, so that does still qualify for the magazine. I'm saying to you, and then bought a kit. So you buy a Airfix kit. I bought mine. What's mine? Is it a Teleri? So it's a model kit. I just built the top off, and mine just clips on with magnets. But I was inspired by Line Rock, and this is just such. He's just such a cool guy, so committed. So he has loads of these little drift cars, these 1/24th scale. So they're only that big.
Yeah.
He buys. So here's a VW Golf Mark 1, an Airfix kit. He's bought. Then there's another guy who does the body kits for them, who does 3D prints body kits at 1/24th scale for Golf Mark 1s. Dips them. And this is like a little garage. He's built these little garages.
Amazing, isn't it?
And if you look at the background, it's on the next screen. This is his loft. Look at that.
Wow.
Massive drift. He's got, and I've been seeing him get in a video and do videos. He does loads of little short ones on Instagram. But the quality of his stuff is phenomenal. That's a Lancia Integrale, isn't it? See they've got Porsches. Is that the 190?
Mercedes,
yeah. It's Line Rock Customs. I think it's a bit of a cop out, but it is digital transmission, and I think it's amazing. So I've had to bring him in, and I'll be doing a lot more with this stuff because it is so good, so much fun, and I've enjoyed mine. I love my little car. And then the last thing we've got in the magazine is we started to do some movie reviews. Last month we looked at a movie called Asphalt Burning, which is on Netflix, and that one was pretty decent. It was pretty fun. So we watched that. Then for this month I says, this looks good. The Fast and the Fierce. Now by good, my definition of good is a bit different than other people's. By good I mean crap, but fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, not good, but entertaining. So I says, let's all watch Fast and Fierce, because you look at the cover. Look at that. That looks like it's a Fast and Furious knockoff, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does, definitely.
Now, I never watched it, but Yusuf did, and he done this review, and basically there's no cars in it. There's nothing to do with cars. It's all something happens on a plane. It's really bad. 0.25 out of 5. Will I live that down? I'm not too sure. I'll have to pick a better movie for this month.
I think the only films to get a review as poor as that is something with Selena Gomez in it. I think that's about the only one. But there you have it. Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's it.
And that's a lot. Well, it's brilliant. Now you'll need to let everyone know, how do you get the links? How can they find you?
If the website's kind of the hub. So if you go to www.digitalcarculture.com, that's the website. You go there. We've got banners for all of our socials. So we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Don't have a big following on those, to be fair, but we are there. Discord is where the community lives. So if there's a Discord link, and Hugh, I know obviously you're in the Discord, and the community is really active. There's a really good set of guys in there. So that's where everything's kind of flowing on a daily basis. And then there's YouTube. So the magazine itself, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to produce, you, and it's a really hard thing to distribute. And I had a chat today. There was an old magazine. I say old, it wasn't that old, but there was a magazine on the shelves called Sim Racer. It was took out of publication in 2016, and it was by a production company called Elsden Production. No, that's not right. So, I think it was like Elsden Production. I'm sure that's what it was. Anyway, I've been kind of thinking, like, how do we take this magazine further? It's digital. It's free. It should be getting millions. In my view is there should be millions of people reading this because it's free and it's decent quality. But it's kind of, what does it need to get out to more people? Around, does it need more marketing? Is it impossible to do this via just socials? Is it about, and I think it is, to be fair, is it about linking it in with more stuff, the community, with the events, with YouTube and videos and streams? Is the magazine not the centre? Is the magazine just an offshoot of the community, which is the centre? And I reached out to the guy who's the CEO of Elsden Production today, and just said, I've got a hobby magazine. I know you used to do Sim Race. I know you do loads of other magazines globally. Can I pick your brains? And I just now and again I do it. I just throw these messages out to people with zero expectation that anybody will ever return. Just say, can we have a chat? And within minutes, he came back and says, here's my number. And he just gave us his phone number. So I rang him through the CEO and says, I just want to talk to you about it. And we were on the call for about 30 minutes today. He was telling us all about the magazine industry, what you need to get up and running, how much it's going to cost, what to expect. And he gave us some really good insight as to why they pulled Sim Racer. And his insight basically was that the Sim Racer magazine, although it was making a lot of money through advertising, it was not getting the readership. And he said that the worst part of it was that the digital magazine that they had was getting the lowest readers. Nobody wanted to read it digitally. It had better following as a printed magazine, but a printed magazine comes at high cost. And he said that it wasn't, they weren't able to make the economics of it work. So they were getting a lot of money through advertising, but the issue was, over time, the advertisers realised that they're not getting the money's worth. They're not seeing the rigs being bought, whatever. And he does loads of stuff. So that was 5 years ago. So I put it to him, things have changed though now. 5 years on, sim racing is huge. The pandemic has created a big bubble for sim racing. Sim racing's actually on TV. He says, that's right. He says, but we tried to launch Sim Racer as a magazine again last year in the summer with this big bubble, and we tried to do it digitally. He said nobody wanted it. So you think about what's the next steps for the magazine. There's a level that we need to keep this magazine at. And I think this is it, to be fair. I think it's we can do it monthly. We're getting good content. We're getting good content creators in. We're giving people exposure. It's drawn my time, but not too much, as in like it's manageable. But I think that next step to making it into something huge is probably the wrong step. I think what needs to be is it needs to be based around the community, and the magazine is just an element. YouTube's there for videos. YouTube's there for streams. We'll run off-stream events. And it's just about creating a community around all those types of games. And that's what it is, to create a hub, probably around the website. So, if you go to www.digitalcarculture.com, then you'll be able to get yourself involved. Contact us through there as well if you feel like you've got content that should be in the magazine, or you just want to kind of connect, then that's the way to do it, mate. That's the way to do it.
Fantastic. Well, that's been brilliant. I mean, I always find that when I look at the magazine, I think, God, this bit's really good. You go through the whole thing and you find lots of really interesting articles, and then you can click on it and it takes you straight there, which is great. And it's all information. It's fun. And for me, I'm a big car enthusiast too. I love it for that because you get some great reviews on some wonderful cars, and it's a nice community as well, with people helping each other and coming forward with some great designs and just wonderful ideas for how things work in the games. Or even like we saw with those amazing drift cars, which are fantastic. It's kind of boyhood dream come true, actually, that kind of stuff, isn't it? You had that when you were 6 or 7 growing up. That would have been incredible.
Absolutely.
You know, but
I'm 42, Hugh, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's fantastic. Well, that's phenomenal. Well, we'll call it a night for that, but stay on the line, Colin. But you've been watching a special digital car culture review, and we do these at least once a month. And make sure you watch them because they are great fun, and you'll always find something that you thought, oh, I need to have a look at that. Because as you say, you'll see new games and existing sim racing games that maybe you've not played before, things you haven't seen that are available on Assetto Corsa. So there's lots of good stuff in the magazine that we can all learn something about. But Colin, it's been fantastic again to have you on the show.
Thank you, pal.
We'll get another one booked in for next month for the next release of the magazine.
Absolutely,
Excellent.
dude. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheers.
And drive fast and try not to crash. Bye just now.